Hey, HQ filled me in. You're gonna use the Ironheart here, apparently? How annoying. I had charts to write and other things to take care of. When exactly will I be able to look for my troop members? An operation? Oh, how are we gonna get to the prime hands? Well, you can work with Valby and figure that out yourselves. Valby was in charge of battle recon, right up until you got here. If I can offer some advice, don't get hurt, please. We're out of everything. Medicine, bandages, my will to live. If I had one wish, it'll be that none of you got hurt. That way, there won't be anything to annoy me. Go catch up with Valby. I'll make preparations as well.
You have to understand, Eugen hasn't had a decent night's sleep ever since we got here. The medical corps unit he was in charge of went missing during combat. An emergency evacuation request came in from the main base of the Order of Truth. Eugen was taking care of some seriously wounded soldiers at the time, so he couldn't do anything. So to help him out, his medical corps unit responded to the request. They didn't take backup, and we lost contact with them. Then the enemy attacked and we were forced to retreat to here. That's how intense this area used to be. But I know HQ has said that the Volga's presence here has decreased to less than 50% of what it was. That's so strange. Why would they reduce their forces for no reason? Anyway, we should take advantage of the current situation and find our way to the first gate. If enemy forces really have reduced, we should be able to get through the gate without any problems. The prime hands are just beyond it. Did it feel to you like someone or something was watching you during the battle? It definitely feels to me like someone's gaze has fallen on us. Ever since I accessed my abilities with water, I can sense when there's tiny ripples. I'd better spread out through the water and find where that gaze is coming from. I'll ask Eugen to transmit the operation details. Be careful, and listen to Dr. Han.
Ops transmissions. What did I do to deserve this? Still, it was no easy feat to break through the gate. Even if the enemy forces have decreased as much as HQ says they have. If you'd been here from the start, maybe my medical unit wouldn't have gone missing. It happened recently. 5 of my medical corps members, all missing. They went out on an emergency evacuation mission, but we lost contact with them. They shouldn't have been sent. None of them have RK. Then the gate was shut, and there was a series of attacks. I didn't have a chance to even think of looking for them. So, as we've been able to get through like this, let's look for signs of my corps members. The ruins are right in front of us anyway, and the prime hands aren't going anywhere. The real problem is, how are we gonna clear out the Order of Truth forces from the area? How about we see if we can find where my corps members might be while we take down enemies? No objections, right? Great. I'll transmit those as our operation details. My poor corps members deserve to be found and returned home. They should be discharged from active service too.
Descendant, the Ironheart is waiting to be transported to your location. Equipment and forces are also waiting to be deployed to fortify the ruins. Alpha has been looking forward to this moment. Considering the circumstance that humanity finds itself in, it makes sense. However, Descendant, consider, do you really need to use the Ironheart? If you are in a position where you are unable to object, unless you or the Descendants will it otherwise, I will also follow the will of humanity from this point forward. I was created to serve humanity, and I believe demonstrating the result of using the Ironheart is a helpful part of that. Humans tend to prioritize results over process. If they view a result as a certainty, they will justify the process. Therefore, I consider this current process to be justified. Please take care of the Ironheart, Descendants? I warned you. Seal the dimensional wall and the location of Ingris will be exposed. If that is what HQ wished. Then I hope they learn their lesson from this. Descendant, look here! Stemming the flow of dimensional energy will only attract the attention of the Colossi. The dimensional wall must not be touched by anyone. Watch out! Access the plans immediately. To help humanity. My task now is... Descendants, I did not wish for this to happen. But if I had continued to oppose the use of the Ironheart, any trust you had in me would have been lost. I had no other choice but to wait for the best moment to effectively reveal my purpose. Descendant, can you guess what my purpose may be, and what the final option is? To ensure humanity's survival? When we were first linked, we both said we needed the Ironhearts. That for humankind, an Ironheart was a means to close the dimensional wall. In which case, why would a guide need Ironhearts? To deliver them to humankind? No, Descendants. The reason why I need the Ironhearts is to ensure their destruction. If the dimensional wall is closed, a much bigger cataclysmic event will occur, as you have witnessed. However, so long as the dimensional wall exists, the energy emitted from any Ironheart will always draw entities from other dimensions to Ingris. For humankind and Ingris to truly experience peace, all Ironhearts must be destroyed. This is what the ancestors have passed down to me. The regret of your forebears with the future generation as your only hope. Descendants, now is the time to choose. Please, I hope all of humankind will accept the sacred mission left behind by the ancestors.
Destroying The Ironheart. I'll be honest, it's shocking. I must admit, had I known about this from the start, I would not have used the guide as a strategic asset at all. However, the only reason I'm still calm, even after hearing all of this, is because the operation to close the dimensional wall failed. The enduring wish of humanity was all in vain. Damn it. However, Descendants. The destruction of the Ironheart is not a decision I can make on my own. Have you ever wondered why the Magisters continue to assist humankind? Officially, our alliance with the Magisters has its roots in our fight against a common enemy, the Vulgus. However, there is an inconvenient truth. Something which Albion headquarters has classified as top secret. The Magisters want the Ironhearts for their own purposes. The reason they came to us is because their ambition for the Ironhearts differed from Karel's. Humankind entered into an agreement with the Magisters to receive scientific technology and resources, in exchange for finding and delivering the Ironhearts to them. Closing the dimensional wall was also a common goal, born from the mutual understanding between humankind and the Magisters. But their true aim was entirely different. Which is why, if we destroy the Ironheart without consulting them, we will no longer have the support of the Magisters. Descendants, humanity is in a terrible position where we're unable to survive on our own. Without the Magisters' technology, we can no longer plan for our future. I was afraid we would become dependent upon this new entity, the Guide, when faced with this situation. That is why I rejected the Guide. And all of this is why we cannot immediately destroy the Ironheart. We are caught between a rock and a hard place. I need some time to collect my thoughts. I also need to discuss this with the Council of Magisters. For the time being, please obey Nell's command and proceed with the operation. Until I return, I would like the Descendants to consider this development and the future of humanity. We'll discuss our ultimate decision at a later time.
Descendants, I understand everyone will be feeling very confused right now, myself included. However, in times such as these, we need to focus on operations and prepare for the enemy's counteroffensive directed at the Ironheart. It just so happens that Valby has returned from recon with some promising intel. And since this mission is critical to the White Knight Gulch occupation, I need you to join Valby and Eugen as part of it. In the meantime, the executive officers will assist Albion and Alpha.
There you are. Are you hurt at all? I was wondering if Dr. Han would have to take a look at you first, but thankfully, I see that won't be necessary. Such a shame about the Ironheart and the dimensional wall. To be honest, I was surprised to hear about our relationship with the Magisters. I thought it was an alliance forged against a common enemy, the Vulgus. I'm starting to appreciate what Alpha said about everything having a price. Anyway, it seems the Magisters have already found 1 or 2 Ironhearts to study. That won't be dangerous, will it? Maybe the real danger will be with this operation. While I was tracking the source of the mysterious gaze, I discovered the location of the base of the Order of Truth. Our mission objectives are to infiltrate the base, find out why the Vulgus forces have been decreasing, and strike the core facilities. There are signs of Eugen's missing medical corps members that are connected to the base. We'll be rescuing and extracting them as well. This mission will be a little dangerous, but let's make it a success and keep everyone alive. We can do this. Sorry for suddenly leaving you behind earlier. Dr. Han is really trying, In any case, I think it would be best if we left Eugen to focus on searching for the medical corps members. I don't think he's in the best state to handle any other missions. We should investigate the Order's base and destroy any major facilities. We need to find out why the Vulgus forces have shrunk at such a worryingly fast rate.
Now that everyone's here, I'll tell you what I saw. Underneath this fortress, there is a hatchery that breeds Vulgus soldiers. It's known as the Pool of Life. It's a disgusting Vulgus facility with many horrible uses. During strategy discussions with the Medical Corps, someone once raised the idea of researching the scope of the Vulgus military forces and their estimated losses, as well as how they went about replenishing their forces. The prevailing opinion among the Corps was that since the majority of the Vulgus legions are organic beings, excluding the Legion of Immortality, they would be limited in the number of units they could mobilize. But Captain Glay had a different theory. She thought that as long as the Vulgus had a supply of DNA organic matter, it would be possible for them to create as many organic Vulgus as they wanted. I genuinely hope her theory is incorrect. But the composition of the organic matter we found is a perfect match for the DNA we previously extracted from Vulgus samples. And the cargo boxes filled with this organic matter are connected to the underground. There's a steady flow of them. I believe my Medical Corps members must have learned that there was a Vulgus hatchery here, and attempted to investigate. Regardless, it could be incredibly dangerous down there. And it'd be a waste of resources if you get dragged into this because of my selfish interests. Investigating on my own should be sufficient. It would be best for the rest of you to return to Albion.
But before we go, does something feel strange to you? The Order of Truth, one of the main pillars of the Vulgus army, is under attack. Why haven't any of the other legions shown up to defend it? No matter how far this place is from the other Legion-occupied zones, it's highly suspicious there hasn't been any support. Do you think it's because of the solid defense line our forces built? Although we've deployed a lot of troops to guard the Ironheart, the enemy hasn't taken the opportunity to launch any counterattacks. And we still haven't figured out why the number of Vulgus forces have dropped so rapidly. If they have a hatchery, shouldn't their troops be increasing? Oh, this is giving me a bad feeling in so many ways. It feels like the inside of my suit is boiling. I hope nothing has happened to the Medical Corps members.
Damn it. There's something even bigger underneath the hatchery. Interference has cleared up, and I've located the last comms from the team. There is a very strong Vulgus signal coming from that direction. Damn it. I refuse to let them die in a place like this. They mean too much to me. I promise I'll be on my best behavior. I need your help. My people, can you help me rescue them?
Feast your eyes upon the road that will lead us home. The time has come. We shall terminate the Descendants and humanity and end my conquest. Remember your final destination. Capture the remaining prime hands. All Ironhearts are within range. When the three paths converge into one, my conquest will be complete. Raise your weapons. Drown the enemy in fear. My power will lead you to victory. Kill the Descendants. Kill them all! Kill them all! Take them out! Kill them all! Kill the Descendants! Kill them!
wonder where all the manufactured Vulgus went, but I never expected them to be battle-ready this quickly. No matter how solid our defense line is at the White Knight Gulch, against a force that large, we won't be able to protect the Ironheart. And because they've divided their forces, Albion is under threat as well. This is why the Vulgus pulled their forces back from the White Knight Gulch. To make us lower our guard, and to lure us into the White Knight Gulch with the Ironheart. We should head back to HQ. I'll take Dr. Han to the medical corps. Don't worry, I don't need any help. When I got him on his feet earlier, he wasn't heavy. He really is just like paper. I could probably carry him around. He's so light. Did you know that Eugen can't use his Arche abilities on himself? He sacrifices so much for his teammates, and he can't even heal his own heart. I feel so bad for him. But I know he'll be fine. He has you and me, after all. His partners in arms. Don't worry about him. Let's head back. I'll see you soon. That's a promise.
Descendants, Karel's fleet has begun its approach. The predicted attack targets are the White Knight Gulch, where the Ironheart is located, and Albion. HQ's predictions of the numbers of remaining Vulgus forces have been completely inaccurate. To mass-produce that many troops so quickly. Karel lured us into a false sense of victory, then used that to bring the Ironheart into the Vulgus' orbit. Also, after the phenomenon of the light beams near the Hagios, the dimensional wall has been weakening at an alarming speed. The closure of the dimensional wall and this diametrically opposite phenomenon. This might be due to the inversion that Karel spoke of. We're already seeing the Colossi being affected. Descendants, for now, please prepare for an intercept battle. According to Seneca's report, the pyromaniac Colossi are approaching Ingris. This truly is the worst-case scenario. First Karel's fleet, and now the Colossi? The intercept of the pyromaniac has been confirmed. Job well done, Descendant. However, given the current state of the dimensional wall, we do not know what Colossus will surface the next time, or when. Humankind must choose whether to engage in an all-out pointless war against Karel's great army, or face equally immense Colossi, which will appear as soon as the dimensional wall disappears. Strategy, tactics, troop numbers. We are at an overwhelming disadvantage in all aspects. If things continue like this, humanity really will.
As all of you know, the situation we find ourselves in seems pretty dire. Due to my lack of sound judgment, I fell for Karel's trap. The Ironheart, which I considered to be our only hope, turned out not to be the key to our salvation after all. If we had used the Ironheart in Albion as I stubbornly insisted, I dread to think what would have happened. This situation is one I created. I am solely to blame. Yes, I am the Descendant who was always defeated. That is likely why I was never able to link with the Guide. I should never have become commander. However, if there was someone who could heed the true calling of the Descendants, then I would let go of everything I have believed in up until now, and put my trust in them. Everyone, I am ordering the destruction of the Ironheart. I will deal with the Magisters. I believe they wouldn't be able to survive without us anyway. Descendants, you need to work with the Guide and carry out any and all necessary operations to destroy the Ironheart. No need to wait for approval from HQ. Just make sure you are as victorious in this as you always are. I'm sure that you will be, as you always have been. I place my trust in you, Descendant.
Descendants, we are close to achieving our true target. However, as Alpha said, the situation is dire. We must hurry. First, it would be wise to move the Ironheart in the White Knight Gulch to Albion. Albion has put in place defensive measures to counter Vulgus battleships. We should also be able to access the energy required to destroy the Ironheart. But we need an immense amount of RK to detach an Ironheart which is linked to a Prime Hands. For this reason, most of the Descendants must be sent to aid the detachment. For you, however, I have a different request. Descendant, come with me to where the phenomenon known as the Pillar of Light occurred. When that Pillar of Light took effect, as well as the energy of the Ironheart, I felt a familiar kind of pain, as if my skin was peeling and my flesh was melting. There must be an inverted Ironheart there. Karel would have connected it to a Prime Hands in order to collapse the dimensional wall. We must stop this before the dimensional wall is completely destroyed. We must retrieve the inverted Ironheart. If we fail to do so, even if the Ironheart is immediately moved to Albion, countless Colossi will appear throughout Ingris. However, if we take back the inverted Ironheart, the destruction of the dimensional wall will be stopped, and Karel's advance will be delayed. I will deliver the mission to detach the Ironheart to the other Descendants. Please go now, to the place where the Pillar of Light was. I will meet you there, Descendant.